Employees are becoming much more confused. They are unsure about their future, about their finances, about their career and job. They are having self-doubt on their actions and abilities. Workplaces are becoming much more chaotic with unpredictable market conditions, changing market requirements, ever-changing organization structure, reporting structure, and also changing companies' policies and practices. Jobs are becoming much more challenging, which is requiring employees to upskill frequently, and yet there is no guarantee of employment. In all this mess, there are only a few who is able to manage it well because they have cracked the puzzle which will help them to survive, shine and rise in this chaotic environment. There are a few whom you can find them cool, unperturbed and balanced because they have internalized 3 mantras which is required or which is must for any successful working professionals. So watch my video until the end where I am going to share 3 mantras which you must internalize, and I will also give you examples how you can apply it at your workplace. And if you have not already liked, shared and subscribed to my channel, which is having more than 150 videos, then please do it. Also watch my other video, my mother's recipe to avoid hurry, worry and curry to build a successful career. I have put 2 decades of my work by creating a custom chat GPT which is named as Utkarsh Rai, Career and Leadership Tips All Levels, and you can interact with my digital twin to resolve any work related problem at hand. First mantra, focus on one thing at a time. If you observe your mind, you will find it that most of the time you are operating in one of the 3 states. First state is monkey mind, where we are not able to focus on anything. We are just hopping from one thing to another thing to the third thing, and that is what is called as monkey mind. Second is butterfly mind. If you observe a butterfly, they will be sitting on a flower for certain duration of time and then immediately hop to the another one, then sit for some duration of time and then again hop on the third one. So that is what is the butterfly mind is, that you focus for a short span of time and then you move to the another issue or the third issue or the fourth issue. And the third type of mind is low energy mind, where you feel very dull, everything seems to be boring, you don't have energy and you just vegetate. And in order to break from this cycle, you start to indulge in watching many entertainment videos or channels. So we normally operate in these 3 states of mind. But if you observe any successful sports person, any accomplished scientist or a great leader, you will find them operating in the 4th state of mind also. And that mind is when you are focused on an activity, you have chosen one thing at a time and you are in a state of flow where you have lost track of time, you are fully present in the moment and you also enjoy doing it. And by doing this, they appear sharp and effective, and that is why they have accomplished a lot in their career in comparison with many others who are not able to exercise their 4th state of mind. I started to apply 4th state of mind, and I'm just giving an example how you can use it for your career search, for what is good for you, what is good for your career, because that is one of the things which I applied it in 2001 and 2002 when I wanted to become head of an R&D center in India of a US-based multinational. So first write down what do you want from your career in the next 2 to 4 years. All your dream, all your wish list, everything you write it down and then go through that list and just strike it out what you don't believe in it, or what you are imitating someone else, or what you are just seeing that somebody has done it so I should do it, and that is not actually what you want it, but you are under pressure from the society, from the family or from your ecosystem, and that is why it is there in your dream list. So after striking out all those things, you will be left with only 3 or 4 items or even 1 or 2 items which you really want to do. Now in those items you should prioritize it and take 1 for example or 2 for example, and then don't make it very restrictive, don't make it a very narrow one. Say for example, when I was looking for the India R&D head of a US multinational company, I was not looking for any particular location, I was not looking for any domain, I was not looking for any company size, I was not looking for the type or the size of the operation. My only goal is to gain general management skills, and for that I want to be India R&D head of an organization. So when you make communicate your goal little bit wider and not being very restrictive, then you are able to cast a wider net and then apply your fourth state of mind and be focused on what you really want to do, one thing at a time. Second mantra is remove the clutter. When you see your wardrobe and when your wardrobe is full, what do? You remove those clothes which you are not wearing it often and then you donate it so that you make space for your wardrobe to buy new fashionable stuff. Similarly, our mind is also getting cluttered with lot of things. It is time that you need to unclutter your mind. And for that, you don't have to add things. Learn to remove things. Learn to subtract things. Learn to keep only things in mind which are really, really important for you in your professional life and in your personal life. French author Antoine de Saint-Exupéry wrote, "A designer knows he has achieved perfection not when there is nothing left to add, but when there is nothing left to take away." It means that try to remove as many things which are really cluttering your mind, which are actually not important for you. It is just some wish list or it is just some nice to have it, so that you should be able to have few things in your mind, and then only you will be able to also achieve the first goal, which is one thing at a time. Because when you have few things, as I said, 3 or 4 things in your mind, then you will be able to focus on 1, 2 or 3 things with much more being a state of flow. So it is important for you to remove the clutter from your mind, then only you will be able to shine in your career. Say for example, you might have been invited for many presentation, and after a while you start finding presentation boring, tedious and long, and then you will be wondering what is the actual message the presenter is going to provide it to you. And it is not the fault of the presenter, because presenter's mind is cluttered, and that is what is been reflected in the slides, and that is what is communicated to you. And most of the time you are also doing the same with your cluttered mind. You are making slides after slides and giving the same boring and tedious presentation. So as an exercise, let's look into it how you can make the presentation much more effective. So first of all, choose just one theme. What is the theme which is very important for you, and give that presentation based on that theme by using examples, stories and use cases. If your presentations are having multiple themes or multiple sub themes, then you divide the slide deck accordingly and invite someone else to give the other presentation based on other theme, and you should not continue giving one after another with those type of themes or sub themes. You must pick one theme, give a simple story on that theme so that your audience will be able to absorb. By doing this, you are uncluttering your audience mind and creating a space so that your story will have an impact in audience mind. Also, I have seen many people who are making multiple slides, 20 slides, 30 slides, 40 slides, and those slides are also cluttered with multiple sub options and options. People have come here not to read slides. They want to hear from you, your story, your message. So take help of slides as if you are supporting your arguments, your stories, your point using the slide, not that you are hiding behind the slides and asking people to read it. So once you declutter your own mind, your own clarity will come, your own focus will come, what you want will come, and that is going to help you. When my farewell was being conducted in the year 2003, when I got the job of India head of an R&D center of an US multinational, one of my colleagues commented that Utkarsh knows what he actually wants in the next stage of his career. And that is a fundamental problem with most of the employees, because they don't actually know what they want in their next stage of their career because of the cluttered mind. And when I got the head of an R&D center in 2003 of a US multinational, I ran that center successfully for the next 15 years. We went even an IPO and it grew many-fold. So the first stage is, the first mantra is that you should take one thing at a time, and the second mantra is that you should declutter your mind, and the third mantra is that the time is a weapon. 24 hours in a day is also available for you, and also it is available for any great leader or a successful professional. The only difference is those others, they know that time is a weapon, and many of the confused employees, they don't know that time is a weapon, and they just procrastinate or use the time whatever they think is the best suited for you and which may not be ideal for them. If you have seen, most of the professionals are always in catching mode. They are catching on their emails, they are catching on their action items, they are catching on following it up, they are catching up on what skills are required, they are catching up with the market trend. But those who are successful, those who are cool, unperturbed and balanced, they are not in the catching up mode because they apply time quite well. They analyze their day, they know which time period is productive for them, which time period is unproductive for them, and that is what I used to do it also, that during my unproductive time, I only respond to some emails, some housekeeping, some mundane work where I don't have to apply too much of brain, and I will just take care of majority of my day work in the unproductive time. And in the productive time, those very important one, strategic one, creative one, where I have to read a lot, understand it, those are the time which I spent it during my productive hours, which are mostly in my case is the morning hour. Block your calendar during your productive hour and don't get perturbed because of the multiple inputs which will be coming to you during that time. You should only engage when there is something exceptionally important, which is something urgent, because what happens, tendency is let's try to close as many of mundane items, housekeeping items, or which are not very important item, because it gives a kick that, hey, yes, I have closed this action item, I have moved ahead. But in reality, you're not moving ahead. You are just killing your time, your productive time, which is basically needed for you to become great, which is basically needed for you to shine, which is basically needed for you to rise in your career. So just value your productive time. And the third point is start delegating. Don't take everybody's monkey on your own shoulder. You must delegate it, and it is good that your calendar appears less crowded, because always there are something due to this chaotic work environment, unpredictability will be coming to you where your focus is needed, and also it will help you to have your productive time much more sane. So it is important for you to not have crowded calendar. You delegate it and make yourself available for only important and great things. So professionals, you have seen that these three mantras you have to learn and practice. It will come in 6 months, it will come in 1 year. Just write down and post it on your workspace that these three mantras you will follow it, and then you will see how your career changes for good. I hope you like this video. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.